Over the last 3 years, I've gone from a broke university student studying engineering to building my YouTube personal brand to 40,000 subscribers, 3 million views, and launching 5 businesses, which over the last 60 days accumulated over $100,000. And now I'm in the blessed position to be my own boss with my own business with time and location freedom. But it hasn't always been this way, and throughout this journey, I've had continuous doubts whether success and wealth is even going to come. But on the other side, I've also had moments and experiences where I've felt certain signs and feelings that in reality actually were leading me on to success. So in this video, I'm going to share 5 things that you may be feeling or experiencing that may actually be signs you are on the verge of making some serious money. Okay, the first sign, ironically, is that you've removed your attachment to cash. The more frugal and protective you are over money, the less likely you are to earn it. Frugality is all part of having a scarcity mindset, and how can you attract the very thing you are scared of? Maybe it stemmed from my parents who are very much risk averse, but I've always had growing up the mindset of I can't spend money unnecessarily. I need to make sure I'm earning enough before I spend any money, and any sort of extravagant purchases are out of the equation. Now, I'm not saying you should be blowing money on Lamborghinis, Porsches, or expensive watches, but you have to have the mentality that to make money, you need to spend money. Having listened to hundreds of podcasts and read multiple books regarding wealth, if there's one thing I've realized, you've got to have an abundance mindset in this world. I mean, there are literal billionaires on this planet who have more wealth than millions of average people combined. So in reality, you've got to remember that money is just numbers. It's all just a fugazi.
Yeah, fugazi, it's a wazi, it's a woozy.
And the more of an abundance mindset you have towards money, the more likely you are to attract it. Let me give you a real life example that I went through. I recently spent £8,000 per month on a coach. Now, when I say that to some people, it sounds like an absolutely absurd, crazy number. $11,000 per month just for a mentor. And when you look at it at face value, yeah, sure, it sounds like a ridiculous amount. That's 3 months or 4 months wages for some people. But here's the flip side to that. If you want to be charging £4,000 or £5,000 per month for your services, or make £20,000 to £30,000 minimum per month with your online business, how can you do that if you're already viewing £8,000 as a crazy purchase? In reality, if you get scared or cave in when you hear large amounts of money, you're not going to have any sort of confidence to attract that sort of wealth that you desire. So the moment I removed my attachment to money and instead transitioned to an abundance mindset was the moment I actually made more money than ever before. So relating this to yourself, be completely honest. Are you someone that's got an abundance mindset, or are you someone that's scared when it comes to spending money and making money? Because believe it or not, your spending habits are very closely tied to your making money habits. And if you've already got a scarcity mindset around spending money and you're frugal, that's most likely going to transition into your making money habits as well. The second sign is that you feel purpose in what you are doing. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. The first half of this year was the hardest time of my life ever. I was making YouTube videos, to be honest, I didn't really like doing. My businesses were struggling for growth, but then I made a pivot. And making this pivot involved me taking a couple steps backwards, to be completely honest, but I felt more alive again and felt more fulfilled with what I was doing. And because I felt fulfilled, it encouraged me to work even harder, and the result of that is I was able to make even more money per month with my businesses. Chasing money without purpose is like trying to climb a super steep hill. You will always be weighed down with a lack of fulfillment and most likely burn out. The Japanese word ikigai sums up absolutely perfectly. The purpose of life is to do something that you feel fulfillment from and puts money in your pocket. So if you genuinely feel purpose with what you are doing every single day, first off, who's to say that's not as important as making money? But secondly, when it comes to making money, you will find you attract it far more easily. The third sign is one that you cannot even track with any sort of science, but it is having a good gut feeling. Science will never ever be able to explain it, but when you have a good gut feeling in your bones, just know something good is coming. The funny thing is that, ironically, the flip side is true as well. Sometimes when I've had really bad feelings for absolutely no reason, something bad manifests itself. It's like your body has a sixth sense as to what's to happen, and then the world just catches up to what you're feeling. Now, I said science will not have an explanation for this, but I've got my own explanation, which kind of makes sense. When you do activities that have proper meaning and they're hard and strenuous, your body gets satisfaction. This could be sending 100 cold DMs that you promised you'd be doing, or going to the gym to lift some weights. Completing a task you set out to do gives you a good feeling and you feel proud of yourself. Well, not just that, but more often than not, if you continuously do good tasks, you will get good results. The problem, however, is that there's a time lag between getting the results and doing the tasks. So to sum up the explanation, if you are doing good things continuously, you're going to get a good feeling in your bones, and then a couple months or a few months later, you'll get the good results and you'll say, oh, it's because I had the good feeling. When in reality, the good feeling just came from doing all of the inputs, then the outputs just came on a delayed time. So if you are feeling good about yourself, you're doing your work every single day, you're putting in consistent hours, just know you will get the end result. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day you will be champion, as the UFC fighter says. The fourth sign is that you are surrounded by people ahead of you in your journey. Now, we've all heard the saying that network equals your net worth, and you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time around. Well, it's absolutely true, because humans innately are competitive, and the more competitive you are, the more likely you are to succeed. If you look at people like Cristiano Ronaldo, he's got one of the biggest egos and one of the most competitive people on this planet. So if you surround yourself with people that are always striving to succeed and ahead of you in the journey, you're going to subconsciously or consciously fight to get to their level. Whereas if you surround yourself with people that are behind you in the journey, you've not got any incentive to push any higher. Now, there's no straightforward way to surround yourself by people that are ahead of you, but some things you could do is attend certain events, networking events or exclusive events, get a more expensive gym membership. You can pay to get yourself in areas with people that are more lucrative and making more money. For example, I mentioned before how I spent £8,000 per month for coaching. Well, within the coaching, I was also around like-minded people that are also striving to succeed. And so that gives us an opportunity to network with each other and people that are equally willing to spend $8,000 a month when it comes to mentorship. And the fifth sign is that you're starting to get noticed and getting compliments. What you'll notice is that when you're at the absolute bottom and you're trying to climb the ladder, you'll get compliments throughout your journey. People egging you on, believing on you, saying, yeah, I'm really loving the work you're doing. But then what you'll notice is the closer you get to the top, more of the compliments fade away and they instead attract haters. And this is because people like seeing someone try. They really do enjoy someone giving it a go, giving it a bash. Like if you say I'm starting a brand new business, people say, yeah, go on, good luck, I wish you the best. But the closer you get to success and reaching success, the sad thing is that a lot of people start to resent you because you embody everything they were afraid to try and do. So what I'm trying to say is that the fifth sign you are getting compliments is also technically the fifth sign you are getting haters. If you're getting haters or you're getting compliments, there's a good sign that you're doing something good. Because the worst possible thing in this world is to just not be noticed. If no one's saying anything about you, it means most likely you're irrelevant and you're not making a stamp on this universe. And that is the vast majority of people that just go about their day-to-day lives, go to their work, have a family, and that's it. But if you look at the people that attract real wealth and success, they're going to have people that have opinions and commentary on their lives. And so one way or another, having opinions, good or bad, is a good sign that you are doing something beyond breaking the mold. One of the things I've been doing beyond breaking the mold is co-founding my own software AI business called Verlo. And if you want to check out exactly how we grew Verlo to a $1 million valuation and beyond in just 90 days, you've got to check out the video right beside me.